Back with another Savage stream. Thanks everybody for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my videos, or actually subscribing to my channel, liking and sharing my videos. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for all of that stuff. Thanks for hanging out and letting me talk some crypto with you guys. Tonight we are going to be looking at the Ravencoin profits for the previous week. We have that rig that we built, and it used to be dedicated to Ethereum Classic, and we decided after a few months of, well, I don't know, maybe a couple months of that, we decided to switch it over to Raven, just to switch things up a little bit. So that's what we did, and that's what we'll look at tonight. Let's see. So let's get started. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so in this video, we're going to just go over the Raven profits for the previous week on one rig. And just keep in mind that none of this is financial advice or mining advice or any of that nonsense. I'm just showing you what happened in real time, I guess. That's basically what this is all about. So this is the rig that we're talking about. This is the Kajimi rig, and it's a 10 GPU Zotac P10690 3 gig. So it does mine Raven, it does mine ETC, but it won't mine ETH. Ethereum, so we have it on those other algos. And this column here is what I basically paid for whatever the item is, whatever the hardware is right here. And this is basically what it's worth today, or what it's costing everybody today. So you can see these GPUs have gone up drastically in price. Definitely would not suggest paying, you know, 150 bucks or 200 bucks. I think I want to say that they were actually pushing 200. Some of them are selling for over 200 right now. That's crazy. So yeah, that's a lot. But every week that I look at this, I actually get a little tempted to try to sell them. So I don't know, man. If that hits 250, we gotta stop doing these videos, because I'm definitely gonna sell them. I can't go from a $35 investment. If I could sell it for $250, yeah, good grief, that would be a huge increase there, huge return on the investment there. So another huge one is the motherboard, the H110 Pro BTC Plus. I paid about 55 bucks for the one that's in this rig, and it is now running for 400 bucks on average, I think. Maybe it came down a little bit, but these are sold, so that's 400, 300, 500, you know, it varies, but yeah, crazy prices. So we built the rig, and it costed about $1183 worth of hardware at the time. Right now, it looks like it would cost about $3 grand or more to build that same rig, because now the GPUs are actually more. So just absolute craziness there. So we built this rig, like I said, I think it was a few months ago. Let me scroll back. If I go over here, I can kind of tell you about what I think. Yeah, it was in November. November is whenever this started. And I did a build video on it, so let me post that in the chat over there. Hopefully everything's going all right. I'm not going to get distracted by the chat here. But there's the link to the video, the build video of actually putting this rig together. And then I am running it on HiveOS, or running HiveOS on it. And it's this rig right here, savagemine Kajimi. And I just recently switched it over to NB Miner because it was actually getting higher hash rate at the same wattage. So it seems like it's slightly more efficient than Gminer, or I forget what the other one was I was trying on here. But yeah, so 58, I think I was getting like 56. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough to probably switch the miner and let it run on MB Miner for a while. And if we go over here to what to mine, we can see I have plugged in 59.7 for Kapow here and 1052. That's probably pretty close. It's 50, actually it's 58.02. This does vary a little bit. You know, it does go up and down. It's not real super steady on the hash rate. So I'll go 58.5 here. And then calculate, you will be able to see that we should be getting, there's a lot of coins that we might need to start looking at too. And maybe we'll switch this thing up because Ravencoin's down here a little ways now. It was at the top last week, I believe, and now it is not. So yeah, 526 a day after power. So it looks like we should be pulling in, if this was pretty steady for the past week, then that means we should have pulled in about 35 bucks, right? Because we did do this video last week as well. It'll be a little bit more than 35 if we averaged, you know, 526 a day. But again, this is just right now. This is just this moment. So it does vary. It goes up and down all the time. All right, so let's get over here to the spreadsheet, and I have already plugged in the payouts. We are mining on, if we go over here, let me show you the rig here real quick. This is the rig, overclock settings, hash rate it's getting, and then the flight sheet looks like this. We are on 2 miners. MB miner is the miner. Here's all the settings for that. There's two server URLs in here because I've got a backup, right? So in the configuration here for HiveOS, let's see. Actually, I went over here, bigger pool. So yeah, right here I've got 2 of them selected. So that's why they both show up in there. And as far as the miner config, I don't have anything special. It's just whatever was fed to the miner from HiveOS, and that's it, using all the variables. No special settings or anything. All right, so that is what the flight sheet looks like. This is what the rig looks like. You guys can get an idea of what we're dealing with here. This is the video of the rig here, just in action. That one empty riser there is because I actually ordered 11 GPUs. One of them was DOA. It didn't work, but maybe one day or something like that, and it might have not even been working then. Basically, it was crashing any rig that I put it in, especially this one. And even if I put it in to a brand new rig, it would still crash it. It was reading funny, like the system was identifying it as an odd number. It was really weird. It's like it got damaged in some way. So I took it out, and this is just a 10 GPU rig now. I also recently did a video on how to mine Ravencoin. I will post that in the chat as well. And this is Ravencoin on NVIDIA and probably the same rig and using HiveOS. And in the video, I believe I go through the whole process. So even flashing the OS, you know, editing the file, the rig.conf file, all that stuff. It's all in there. Hey, what's up, Panda? What's up, Shancoin, Roman Coin Empire 56? What is going on over here? Jay Bohannon. All right, so like I was saying, I've already plugged this in, but I'm going to go over here to 2 miners. I've already searched up my Ravencoin address here, and that's why I have statistics here, and you can see that it says that we were paid 506 Raven over the past 2 weeks. I think we've been doing this for 2 weeks now. And if we look in our wallet, we have 506. Now what's weird is I could not get the actual spreadsheet to match, even though I exported and imported. This does not think that we have that much. I believe it's 260 plus 225. I don't know, maybe that is pretty close. Yeah, I think the total was 485, yeah, right here. So I don't know where the other, was it 17, 21 Raven? I don't know where the other 21 Raven are, but anyway, they're in the wallet. They're just not on in the payouts for some reason. And I did the payouts from 2 miners over here. Just looked at the payouts down here, copied these, pasted them into the spreadsheet over here, you know, totaled it all up. Did a little bit of calculations. You can see total Raven earned this period. This is the last period. And then we started with this payment right here on the 16th. And the way 2 miners works is they have a minimum of, I think the way it works is 10 Raven, and you can't change it. It's every 2 hours as long as you've hit 10. So if you hit 9 in 2 hours, then you won't get paid again for another 2 hours, but you'll probably get 15 or whatever, right? So that's just the way that works. There's not a way of setting the payout amount, which I wish that they would implement that, but they haven't yet. All right, so that's why we get all these crazy payouts. Lots of different ones. You know, before, whenever we were doing ETC, it was not that, there weren't that many, you know, in between the weeks. So now it's gotten a little bit crazy. So that's why I go ahead and do it before the stream and just kind of total it up. So you can see here, total Raven earned this period, 225. The current value is 20 cents, 20.5 cents. So we earned about $46, not including power cost. And that comprises 3.92% of our total ROI, basically to break even on the device, on the hardware. And then the balance to break even is 670. So we started with an $1,183 rig. We're down to 670, not including power. You can see all the totals over here too. I kind of made this a little bit bigger so that you guys could see it. It was super small. So we're at about 57% total repaying of the rig, hardware wise. So that's pretty good. And I believe that is it. What's up, Pocket Change? If anybody's got any questions, ask them now. Be sure to tag me over there. We're going to continue to mine Ravencoin, I believe, on this rig for a little while. See what happens. Yeah, you know, I need to update. I need to fix it up. It's kind of ugly, but there's ways of making it look a lot better than this. I haven't spent a whole lot of time on it. It was just pretty generic, but yeah, there's different ways of really fixing it up and making it look nice. I didn't talk about the electric. This is basically, on average, this is what the electric is going to be. Mine is 10.3 cents per kilowatt hour. So it's around $2.71 a day, about $81 a month. And at the end of all this, we could, you know, go back and add in all our electric costs. But right now, I'm just worried about breaking even on the hardware. As long as we are mining more than we are paying in electric, I'm just going to let it ride like that. Not too worried about exactly how much, you know, profit there is. Although if you're really, you know, if you're more than, I would say more than like 50 GPUs, you probably need to start, well, not even that much. If you're more than like 20 GPUs, you probably need to really start paying attention to your power. The Raven halving should be at the beginning of next year. And they'll be going from 5,000 Raven per block, which they are a 1-minute block chain. they will be going to 2,500. All right, so I am working on a little bit more content, and one of the things I've been really working on is MEV, because this is like a huge subject, and it's one of those subjects that the more you kind of like try to dive into it, it's a rabbit hole. Yeah, it's just like whoosh all the way down there, and it gets pretty crazy. But I've done some videos, quite a few actually, on MEV already, and I've made some mistakes in those videos. I've said some things that weren't necessarily 100% accurate, and I hate that. I hate whenever I'm like wrong on something, that I've put out there. But in my own defense, I'm just kind of going with what I know at the time. So there's some things I need to clear up, and that's what I was looking at on doing another MEV video. We'll probably do that tomorrow night. I was gonna do it tonight but we do this breakdown of the previous week on Mondays, so I was like, I'll just wait till tomorrow. So be ready for that. It's probably gonna be a solid 30 minutes, maybe even a little bit longer. I don't know if anybody's planning on going live tomorrow night after me, but yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. I've got a slideshow and all kinds of stuff, so I've done a little bit of homework for this one. I think I have it down. Now. Pretty confident. And yeah, I just want to kind of dispel some of the myths and figuring out, exactly how it's going to work. There's some, yeah, it's not good. It's not a good look for Ethereum. I'll say that. Looking into it really far, like I have, really deep, or deeper than most, yeah, it's not a good look. But again, we'll talk about that tomorrow night, so be sure to tune in for that. That'll be at 9:30 tomorrow Eastern time, my time, and we'll knock that out tomorrow. I got a couple more edits I need to do and get it fine-tuned, and then we'll go from there. I'll try to stay on track with it and not make it last too long. Yeah, Guild War, we've talked about Raven before a lot on the channel. I mean, I love Raven, and I've done a lot of content on Raven, but they do have problems with development, not necessarily with just doing the development, but what we need for Raven is we need a modern look. We need a modern change to the interface. Like I talked about this in those videos so far. No one's going to fire up the QT wallet to run a business out of it. Even though that's pretty much that and Mango Farms. There might be a couple of other interfaces to actually interact with the chain, but no one's going to do that. And no one's going to do that to launch an NFT. No one's going to fire up the QT wallet. We did, just to show you how easy it is, but there needs to be that user interface. There needs to be a modernized user interface for all of the features of Ravencoin all in one place. That's just my opinion. Because it doesn't have that. Right now you have to go into the QT wallet, or they got not a great mobile wallet. Now if you want to just store assets and not really do a whole lot, then obviously Zelcore, there's plenty of wallets that can store the assets and store the Raven. But when it comes to actually interacting with the chain, that's where they've really fallen short. They failed to attract new talent, young talent, young developers, to put that fresh face out there and give them an interface that makes sense. Mango Farms is great. I mean, he's done great over there, but it just needs, and I think that they are working on all this stuff. I think you just got to give them some time, because they just started the Ravencoin Foundation, that is funded in some way. So I think that eventually we will see some progress, but they are missing the boat right now when it comes to NFTs. You know, they could really get, there's a few projects that are using Ravencoin for NFTs, but as far as like mainstream adoption, it's just not happening yet. Rondi, which Raven wallet? Thanks so much for the super chat, by the way. That's awesome. Thanks so much. Super generous. Which Raven wallet I can use with my ledger? Is there such wallet that can use my Raven ledger private keys like MetaMask? Yeah, I've got a video on that actually. So if you go to my channel and you look for, I've got a Ravencoin playlist, but I think you can just search for Raven. Let's go Ravencoin ledger. There you go, right there. Store Ravencoin on a ledger. So it walks through everything, but basically you need the Electrum Raven wallet. That's how you connect to it. You connect your ledger to this wallet. I'm pasting that video in the chat over there for you, Rondi. Hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'll try to help. I know Dan the Dane ran into a real problem with it. I think it was some scripting issues or something. I think he finally got it worked out. I had no problem, and I've done updates, and I have stored multiple times. I've transferred Raven to the ledger, no problem at all. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, I think I'm gonna get out of here. Make it a somewhat of a short one for me anyway. 22 minutes, not too bad. All right, guys, if you thought that this was educational, entertaining, all that cool stuff, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow night. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks again, Rondi, for the super chat. That was really generous. Hopefully I helped you out there. I will see y'all tomorrow night. We will talk more about minor or maximal extractable value. Stay savage, everybody.